I like to think of the different gospel accounts of Jesus' birth as kind of like getting different Christmas presents from relatives. Cousin Luke sends us the warm, heartfelt gift, a radical young woman singing songs of revolution. He gives us a manger and shepherds and angel choir.
Uncle Matthew's gift is a little more complicated. An honorable fiancé, wise ones with costly offerings, a paranoid king, and a refugee journey to Egypt.
Brother Paul offers us a tiny stocking stuffer, a single sentence alluding to a perfectly ordinary Jewish birth.
And Grandpa Mark, who's always in a hurry, gives us no Christmas story at all.
We need to write him a letter about that.
That's right.
And then there is John. Under layers of ornate wrapping paper, this exquisite Greek language and philosophy, John gives us this amazing opening line. In the beginning was the Word. Luke's and Matthew's stories make us say, "Aw." John's gospel makes us say, "Oh, wow. Now I get it."
In the beginning was the Word. You probably know this. The Greek word for this is logos, which means far more than the words we use in speech. For John, the Word, capital W, Word, is God's revealing and creating and redeeming action in history. The Word is the eternal work of God. The Word was God, God's self, all that God is. The Word was God herself. And I use that female pronoun deliberately because John echoes both Genesis, in the beginning God created, and Proverbs, where the female personification of wisdom, Sophia, sings, God created me at the beginning of God's work, the first of God's acts of long ago. Divine Sophia, divine word, divine will and wisdom have been at work since before time itself, creating order from chaos, making covenants with people, and sustaining all life in love.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. With that single sentence from John, all of our neatly packaged ideas about a distant, untouchable God collapse. The abstract logos of the philosophers becomes sarx, flesh, blood, bone. The God who, throughout the Hebrew Scriptures, was always the one filled with mercy and grace for us, decided in Jesus Christ to become one with us. Indeed, to become one of us. God is not just a tourist of the human condition. God moves into the neighborhood. That incredible truth leaves me torn between recoil and praise. The thought of God choosing flesh, fragile, mortal, messy, is unsettling. And yet, The knowledge that God loved us enough to share our vulnerability, our pain, our fear, and our joy brings me to my knees in gratitude.
In Jesus Christ, God experiences what it means to be human. And for me, that changes everything. I don't have to explain to God what it is to feel alone. Jesus felt it on the cross and other times in his life as well. I don't have to explain what it is to think about tomorrow with dread and fear. Jesus did that in Gethsemane. I don't have to explain what it's like to lose someone you love because God lost a child.
And I don't have to explain to God the simple beauty of a sunrise, the joy of friends and food and wine, the exquisite rush of mud between the toes and wind in the hair, the power of music and dance and poetry and touch, the gentle aha moments that make being human worthwhile. God became human in Jesus Christ to redeem what it means to be human and to make available to us humans what it means to be divine.
I think you should say that again.
God became human in Jesus Christ to redeem what it means to be human and to make available to us humans what it means to be divine. In Christ, word and flesh meet, and nothing can ever be the same.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. The Greek for dwelt literally means pitched a tent with us. I love the Message translation, which says, God became flesh and moved into the neighborhood. Right? Happened 2,000 years ago and continues to happen today. God is still made flesh. God still tents in our lives, moves into our neighborhoods. And I want to invite you this morning to think about, when have you seen or experienced God becoming flesh and moving into the neighborhood? It can be literally your neighborhood. It can be the world in which we inhabit. It can be in your own life. Think a moment. When was something that made your breath catch and made your heart open and say, this is God? So what I want you to do is to hang on to that moment for a minute and find someone in the congregation, anyone, preferably someone you don't live with, right? And say to them where that place has been that you've experienced God moving into the neighborhood, and have them do the same with you, right? And those of you online, if you would drop that into the chat, and I'll share with you in the chat as well. If you would. Thank you all. It's always hard. I always hate to call us back together again. Keep your eyes open, just like the 12 days of Christmas. There are at least 12 ways that God is moving into your neighborhood, and looking for them is what will help to feed you and open us up to Christ being born again and again and again.